Hello everyone, it's been a while. Recently I've been seeing lots of TikToks about sad, gifted burnout kid and all of this, and I feel that I can relate the most to them because honestly, this description fits me so well. I'm so surprised that For You page is now like specifically For You page. And today I want to talk to you about this notion and this particular thing because it's really personal for me, and I feel like sharing this experience might help someone. And actually, I just want to feel relieved sharing this experience, and maybe some of you have the same problem, and you can comment about it in the comments down below, because it's very difficult living like this, especially when you have quarantine and when you have everything failing in your life. So let's delve into it. I feel like the problem of sad, gifted burnout kid goes way back to your school times. And as for me, during my school years, I was very active. I had the best marks, tried to have them. But the problem is that it was very easy for me because I didn't have to struggle with my school studies. I was just fulfilling all the tasks, all the necessary tasks, and I managed to graduate with very high marks and to enter the university I wanted to go to, even though I had to pay for it. It's okay, I didn't have an opportunity to study with a grant. And all this experience might seem like fun and oh, you don't have to worry about it. Oh, everything goes like it should go. But in fact, during these years, I failed to learn how to study and how to learn and how to properly work. And it's actually a problem because when I'm in my 20s, I'm 22 now, I feel like I don't know how to properly get myself together because I'm very bad at discipline. I need someone to punish me for things that I failed to do. And when I was at school, it was okay because it didn't feel like much of a problem because it was fun. I didn't have to study a lot to be not the best, but among the best students in class. When I entered university and when I was doing my bachelor program, everything was okay as well. And actually, I wasn't the most diligent student at all. And anyways, I happened to graduate with honors. And I would say that I worked on my studies, but I wasn't working very hard. I wasn't struggling with my studies anyways. And during this bachelor years, everything was the same as it was at school. And everything was okay until this year. And right now I'm doing the first year of my master's program. And actually the level of studies is actually the same because I'm continuing my studies at the same university, and I am following the same direction actually. I'm studying international relations. And basically all the studies right now are connected to the things that we learned previously. We try to fill in the gaps in our knowledge base and all of this. So it's not that hard. And the main problem right now is that now I have to combine working and studying, and I feel like I'm failing at everything. I want to give you some kind of a background on things that I do. I am actually an entrepreneur. I have my own small business, and it's fun, I love it, but recently I've been feeling like it's not my thing. And when I had an opportunity to start my own business, I was very happy because it meant that I would be financially stable and financially independent. I can enjoy things in life, avoid depending on my parents, and have more freedom in general. And it was fun for a year because my success with my business was tremendous. I had the income which I thought I would never receive actually, and the progress I've made is really impressive for me. But now it's all gone. It feels like it's all gone. Actually, I have no idea how to cope with it. And here I can tell you I have the same problem because during the first year of having a business, everything was so fine. I had no problems with anything at all. The income, amazing. The productivity, the products that I've made, everything was so top tier that I was thinking that oh, that's how it works, right? That's how it will be forever. But in fact, it's not like this anymore. And here lies the main problem of being so-called sad, gifted burnout kid. First of all, you cannot accept failure, and you don't know how to cope with failures because you're so used to success. even slight, small success, meaning that, oh, I've passed the test, oh, I have like the highest score in my group or anything like that, you feel very terrified and stressed about any kind of failure. And when we think about failure, we actually imagine something very serious, like very complicated issue. But in fact, for me, a failure might be a slight slowdown in my activity, maybe like lower income, maybe fewer products I produce. And all of this feels like a failure. And for normal people, it might seem like a normal pace of your work. And now I feel very demoralized. Is it the word? Demoralized? Okay, whatever. I feel very stressed and confused because I feel like I put so much time into this thing, and everything looked so positive at first, and everything was working out so well. And now it's not like that anymore. And I have to make myself work, because if I don't see the results that I used to see, I feel very confused, even more confused. And actually, it's very cool that we all have humor as our coping mechanism. It's amazing, because at least we can laugh at our problems. It makes them like less confusing and less complicated in our minds, at least for a couple of seconds. But in fact, this problem is very common. And I think that this problem is slightly connected to the fact that our parents demand from us like all these excellent, perfect things, which are very common specifically for Eastern European parents, I would say, judging from my experience at least. And they want you to be like the best in your class. They want you to receive the highest grades, the highest scores. They want you to enter the best university, everything the best. And I do get this idea of getting the best, because I feel like closely connected to their past. They didn't have an opportunity to study where we can study right now, or receive so many opportunities, job opportunities, studying opportunities, anything like that. And they want like a better life for their children, and it's okay. But the pressure we face is tremendous. And at first we do not recognize that we face this pressure because we're just afraid to get a lower mark. Or maybe sometimes we feel like we are underperforming because our parents are not very pleased with our results. This is the core situation which provokes all this said gifted burnout shit in your life. No cap, like I'm 100% sure that these two things are closely connected. Right now, I have a very strange emotional state. Because first of all, I don't know what to do with my life. I have no idea. I have two sides to this problem. The first side is absolutely mine, like what I want in my life, what I want to do in the future, what my dream job is, everything connected with my perception, I would say, and self-realization, if it's appropriate to say it like that. And the second side is my parents' side. And it's their desires and their ambitions and their views on my future. And sometimes I don't feel this borderline between them. And I'm trying to work on it with my therapist, because I feel like it's the only way out. You cannot deal with it yourself, so you should go to a professional, you should go to a therapist. And it's still very difficult because I am torn between these two parts, and I'm fully aware of them existing, but I have no idea what to do with them and what to do about them. And another thing is that when I'm trying to fulfill any kind of task, I'm afraid that I will not fulfill it perfectly, and that the results will not be satisfying even to myself. Actually, it prevents me from doing anything. I'm too afraid to sit down and work on something because I feel that I will fail. I have an imposter syndrome, and many of you have the syndrome, I believe, especially if you face the same problem of gifted burnout kid. And actually what it means for people who have never come across this thing is that anything you do in your life feels like a failure. The word count for failure in this video, it's like a drinking game, you know? You can like take a shot anytime I say failure, and you will be, not only will you be drunk, but you will be an alcoholic by the end of this video. And actually, an imposter syndrome is very common. It's when you feel like everything you do, even if it's done like perfectly in a proper manner, is not enough. is not satisfying enough for you to continue doing it, and it just means nothing. So basically, when you think about all the things that you do, like every day concerning your work, your studies, you feel like, oh, like whatever, it doesn't mean anything. Oh, I received like a 97 for my paper. Oh, okay, but I feel like I have cheated. So actually, all these things in your head constantly telling you that the result that you get is not fair, not because it's lower than you expect it to be, but because it's higher, because in reality, you cannot do anything. And all these voices in your head, actually, it might be an exaggeration, and I know that people struggle with this problem on a different level, but however, all these like voices in your head telling you that you are not enough, that you cannot fulfill your tasks properly, they disrupt your work, they destroy your self-esteem, and you feel like shit. And actually, right now, we're talking about like this part of the phrase, gifted burnout kid. Gifted means that you have lots of talents and that you had so much prospects and now you don't know what to do with your life. Burnout means that you've tried enough times and now you don't want to try at all because you feel like a failure. And sad means actually that you're very discontent about all that happens in your life and about your position in this life, about the position of other people. You may be jealous, envious of other people, especially when you see it on the internet, because we all know that the internet is a dump of very distorted images. And actually, I've been sharing my position on this one in a previous video, talking about the way TikTok spoils the lives of people and the way it's very toxic. And I feel like the internet in general is very toxic, especially all the social media. When you see a perfect life of someone, when you see that someone is driving like a Range Rover or a Mercedes when they're 19. Come on. When I was 19, I was thinking about not failing a class. I don't know. It was like very difficult for me, and I had no opportunity to drive a Range Rover or a Mercedes or like a Tesla or whatever. And I feel like that's the problem, and it's the problem of capitalism. Like we always talk about this, and we always come to this conclusion that everything in our life is a problem of capitalism. But like we cannot blame it on capitalism only, because we will probably live in the system for many centuries, fortunately or unfortunately, and we have to adapt to the system and live in it, and don't feel very discontent when we see other people living our dreams, living our dream life, or driving the car we really want to drive, or something like this. And all I can say is actually go to a therapist, please. Is the best option you can do for yourself. And I know that's a difficult task, because first of all, you need to admit that you have a problem. Second of all, it might be very pricey. You have to pay lots of money for a therapist, and it will take years of time to go through all your problems and figure them out. So yeah, as for now, when I'm filming this video, I feel much better because, first of all, I've shared with you my story. I feel like lots of people will relate to this and will write down their stories in the comments down below. I will be very grateful if you do this, because I feel so alone in this. I don't mean to sound complacent at all, but people around me don't actually get this problem, because when I share it with my friends, they're like, oh, but what's the problem with it? I can see it. Like, you have good grades, you have your thing, you have a business, everything's fine actually, but it's not fine for me, and it's difficult to explain this. So yeah, if you have the same story, or like in general, if you have a story to tell, please write it down in the comments down below. I will be very glad to read all your comments and feel less alone, maybe. Actually, I think that the pandemics worsened it all. We had so much time to stay at home and think about our life and think about our problems, and maybe elaborate some new problems which we didn't have before the pandemics. And at first, during the first part of the quarantine here in my country, it was fine. I was so excited to spend time at home and to like enjoy my life. And during the second wave of COVID-19, I had so many wrong thoughts, I had so many problems in my head, and now every week I'm looking forward to a session with my therapist. I don't know what to do about it. Like, I'm really trying to work hard. I'm really trying to get the things done. But I cannot do this. Like, I cannot elaborate a plan how to do this. I cannot just sit and do this. I don't know what to do with it. So if you have any tips, maybe, please share them in the comments down below. Like, if you have anything to share, if you want to talk about it, please, you're kind of welcome. And thank you very much for sticking up with me for not several minutes, I think it's 20 minutes or something. If you like this video, you can give it a big thumbs up here below, and if you're new to my channel, you probably are, you can subscribe somewhere down there. I have an Instagram as well, but I'm not kind of active there because enough social media in my life. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for watching this video, and I see you very soon. Goodbye.